Hello everyone, True Zero Emissions here. I'm so excited about this scooter. I just purchased this scooter recently from Voro Motors in Panorama City, California, and I've been spending the past couple days just setting it up and getting everything adjusted to my preference for my riding style. For example, notice how I moved the brake lever further in this way so that when my hand's here, just this tip part is close to my fingers, because I like to use these two fingers to stop, right? So that'll reach perfectly here. And I adjusted this, not all the way in, because it'll go further in, but just a little bit more in, making sure that the pressure, the hydraulic brake fluid pressure is completely pressurized before touching this, because we don't want to run out of brake, right? So I also added a little bit of fluid here. Even though this is brand new, I was able to add a little bit of fluid to each side. I just like to top things off myself. There was just a little bit of air in there, just a little. But the brakes still worked perfectly fine the other way. I just like to go through everything myself, and I'm using red Loctite and blue Loctite everywhere I can. When using red Loctite, be extra careful and realize that when you take off those screws that you use red Loctite on, you may have to use a heat gun like this. This is a heat gun that gets super, super hot, and you might have to heat up that Loctite to take the screws out. So if you're putting Loctite on a screw that's close to plastic or rubber, it could melt that, so be careful and be very selective about where you use Loctite. Who would like to see the battery come out? Raise your hand. Great. Let's do it. Let's take the battery out. Can you believe? I just can't believe how advanced this company is. Now, I know that Dualtron did this a while ago with their Dualtron Storm, which was my favorite scooter at one time. That was one of my favorite scooters. I really like how the Dualtron Storm had the battery that can come out. This is the Wolf King GTR, and they now have the ability to quick release the battery. It's really great. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so you see here that we have the charge ports directly on the battery now. Look at that. I need to find out if there's an adapter that will allow me to adapt my fast charger that I have, which was for the Wolf King GT Pro, which is the same voltage battery as the Wolf King GTR. As you can see, 84 volts, and it was charging at 5 amps. This was a fast charger right here. And this scooter, the Wolf King GTR, when I was reading the book, the manual, it's saying that I can charge with two 5-amp chargers, two fast chargers. Now, I did notice that the plug is different. This plug, even though it has 3 connections, it's a different plug. It's a little bit different compared to, as you can see if you look in here. See, this is protected. This has protection around each connection. So it's a different plug. If I recall correctly, actually no, I don't recall which side is which. But I think one of these bottom ones is plus and one's minus. I just don't know which is which. I was looking at the diagram, but I just don't recall if it's reversed right now looking at it. But hopefully I can put an adapter that will adapt my charger I have to this, or if I have to change the plug on the charger, I will. Let's go ahead and unlock the battery. So it looks like our default is going to be, I think it's zeros, and then I'll program this and set a code to lock the battery soon. So we're at all zeros right now. I think that's the default setting. And now we can turn it. That's unlocked right there. I was watching a video where someone had it unlocked and then they crashed. and because it was unlocked, when they crashed and the scooter fell over, the battery fell out. It's really important to have this in the locked position. These numbers don't have to be locked, but this part has to be locked, okay? So right now, the battery cannot come out. It's really tight in there. See, it's really, really tight in there. I cannot pull it out. It's sealed really well. So let's go ahead and go ahead and adjust this to, see if I can see this here. I think my safety glasses are fogging up and I'm having trouble seeing this. Oh, there we go. It helps too when the phone is in focus. So I'm on all zeros. That's the default setting before programming it. So I'm turning it now. See how I turned it? Okay, that's locked. That's unlocked. Now that it's unlocked, let's see if we can lift this out. Yes, it lifts out now. See how it lifts out? Now that it's lifted out, I'm going to go ahead and put the phone on a tripod here, or hold a mount. So I can hold the phone for a moment while I unplug the battery. So I'm going to lift it and then reach down here and unplug it. Comes out. Okay. Got it out. That battery is far too light. I would like to see this battery at twice the weight, twice the capacity. Anyone that says the battery's heavy or they're afraid to go bigger on the battery because of weight reasons, I say go ahead and double the size. Alright everyone, there's that plug. That's the plug I just unplugged. And what I did was I reached down in here like this in front of the battery and I held the plug itself, not the wires, right? We never want to pull wires when we're dealing with electronics and circuits. Always grab the plug. So that means have your hands clean and dry. Grab this, and I just wiggled it back and forth. I push this side down, I push that side down, so I push this side down, then this side, this side, this side, and I just kept pushing back and forth downward as if a downward pressure, and then this dropped down. There it is. This is very thick metal here. You can see how strong this is. It's very strong. Let's go ahead and look at the locking mechanism. Okay, that's the part that locks, that goes into the battery. And there it is right there. That's the part that goes into. That slides into there. And it's a snug fit. It's very snug. I remember my Dualtron Storm, I could lift it a lot. It was kind of like, I guess it's called the tolerances were different than this scooter. This one's very firm. It's in there very well. So they did a really good job on making that a really firm fit. And if I want to increase that firmness, I could probably add a thin layer of something to the inside there on that side, the bottom side. Just a very thin layer of like something there, like maybe gaffer tape or just something thin, and then do that until this is really, really tight. But as it is, they already they have this protective coating on here, right here, and I think that's what's already making it firm. because right now it's very firm in there. It's a really tight fit. So I can see here, this is like a drain area. I think if any water were to get in there, it would just drain out of here. You can see the little holes there. There's 4 little holes that can let it drain out. Very, very nice. I'm just going to go ahead and clean this out. Just a little bit of dust in there. I was introduced to these this cleaning rags here, and now I use them for everything. Works very well. I clean the scooters with these when I come back from riding and stuff like that. So here's the battery, everyone. This is it. It has a display there when I push this button here. 100%, 82.9 volts. There it is. Very nice. Looks like this has algae cells in it. This battery is packed with algae chem cells. Algae chem. Okay, everyone, that's it. We got the battery out. And what I like about this, and I would like to get an extra battery. And I don't know if they have those in stock right now, but I'd like to get a second battery for a couple of different reasons. One is to have 2 batteries charged, and then when one battery's drained, I could just put a new one in. Imagine charging your battery in like 60 seconds. That's essentially how long it takes to change the battery. Turn the lock, unplug, take it out, put the new battery in, and in 25 seconds I have a fully charged battery. So I'm very interested in getting a second battery. I hope they start carrying that or already carry it at Voro Motors in Panorama City. I hope that's something they'll have. I think it would be neat if they could even make a larger capacity one, and I guess it would have to be taller, but that would be okay with me. if it was like an inch taller, and it'd be a larger capacity battery, because otherwise the tray would have to be deeper, but that would require modification. But there's a lot of room underneath here as well, and if I get a second battery, I may also strap the fully charged battery on the bottom, just strap it on there, and then when this one's depleted, put the depleted one on the bottom and put the fully charged one on top, put it in there. And for those of you that follow my experiments, all 100% of engineers all agree that if you want to charge a battery while you're riding the scooter, the simplest way to do that, well, it's one simple way. There's many simple ways, right? There's like infinite simple ways, literally, because that's just the universe we live in. It has infinite possibilities and infinite inevitabilities. Think about that one. Infinite inevitabilities. That's just the reality of the existence that we live in. But if I'm powering the scooter with the battery that's inside here, and I have a separate battery on the bottom, let's say that's the battery on the battery on the bottom that's mounted to the bottom with straps, okay, with really strong straps that, you know, the ones that you tighten, that you pull back and they click like that, like motorcycle straps. Imagine having like 3 or 4 of those with double-sided sticky tape between the battery and the bottom of the scooter. And then having a charging system on the scooter, whether it be, you know, like one of these motors mounted somehow, right? So imagine somehow having this turn. I would have to have that all set up where this is somehow turning, and then going into a full wave bridge rectifier and probably a step-up transformer to get the voltage high, and then keeping a close eye on the voltage on the dead battery, but charging that depleted battery until the voltage was close to full. I wouldn't go all the way full on it. I would just get it close, and all the while monitoring temperature of that battery that I'm charging. But it's said and agreed 100% by electrical engineers that if we charge the battery that has no load on it, you're just charging it, that it's a lot easier to charge that battery compared to charging a battery that you're also drawing power from. So there is ways to do that. It's just, that just requires a lot more knowledge and experience, if I say it that way. It can be done though, and people have done it and are doing it. But if for like the beginner, like the elementary approach is to charge a battery that has no load on it, and all we have to do is get the voltage up really high. That's my understanding. That's the way I would approach it. Don't do that based on what I'm saying. I'm just talking about like a thought experiment that I want to test one day. But as you know, be very careful in the testing of things like this. Anyway, everyone, really looking forward to riding the scooter soon. And got the gear up there, the helmets, and the jackets, and the knee pads up there. It's the knee pads and elbow pads. I don't know if you can see the name of those. Okay, we'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.